Hello, this is Raimu, and welcome to the January 2020 recap for my Twitch stream and game called Omnia Regna. In the month of January, to kick it off, on New Year's Eve, I made an in-game item called the Firework. This is what it looks like. I'm going to light some off right now in-game. So made that on popular request from chat, and that was pretty cool. It started off the year pretty well. In the month of December, went through and started beefing up the world building tools, the admin tools in my game, and focused a lot on overhauling items in my game, being able to create them, modify them. Also added item containers. So as you see here, there's a box. I can walk over to it and look at it. It's a weather-beaten box and there's gold in it, and I can steal some of that gold. So worked a bit on that, and also went through and rewrote a lot of the scripts in my game for NPCs at the end of January and the beginning of February, so that it's nice and streamlined and smooth and performant and all set to go into February. So without further ado, let me do a voiceover week to week for each week of January, and hope you enjoy. Thanks. I decided to kick off the year 2020 with a fireworks display in-game. Actually, this was a suggestion from viewers in chat on New Year's Eve that I add fireworks, which I did. And a whole bunch of people celebrated with me the ringing in of the new year. Also in that week, I did do some refactoring of the rendering system of the game to make it more efficient, and I had by this point fixed a lot of the bugs from previous refactorings of the rendering system, so from this point on to the end of February, I really haven't had any other problems with glitches in display of different glyphs and tiles in the game, which was pretty cool. Because before that point, I had had a whole bunch of different problems with the rendering system, from tiles appearing when they shouldn't, to tiles disappearing when they should not have, to then not being updated. So to finally have the rendering system solid with fireworks in the game started off the year very well. In the second week of January, I was focusing a bit more on world building tools. I'm trying to improve the tools that I use in the front-end client to make content in the game. So here I'm showing how I had added a tile set palette to the entities panel, so that while I'm looking at individual entities in the world, I could also be painting them. And this came in very handy because before this point, I had constantly been switching between the entities panel and the tile set panel in order to do painting and selecting of entities and moving of entities. So now a lot of the tools are in the same panel, and the tile set panel became more of when I want to actually change what the tiles look like importing different graphics or changing properties of tiles. But when I'm actually painting with them or placing and moving entities, now it's all done from the same window, which is a lot more efficient than before. So there were other front-end improvements for world building tools. I use the term world building tools when I'm talking about lots of different things, whether it's painting tiles in the game, creating items, modifying items, moving players around, moving mobs around, that kind of thing. And I'm still not done, even by the end of February when I'm recording this overview, where I'm still not done with adding these tools that I need. For example, we're still missing ability to create quests, to have vendors, and a lot of different things. So it's still a work in progress. Beginning in the third week of January, I was spending a lot more time overhauling items and adding item containers to the game. So here you see me adding in the both open and closed versions of just a generic treasure chest or box to the items tile set asset. And after adding this, I spent a whole bunch of time going through the different parts of the game to add the components I needed and the code to operate on them to define the concept of a container. It's basically an entity that references a list of other entities. Conceptually, it's that the list of entities is all of the things that are inside of the container. So there was a lot of back-end work to have entities tracking each other, and then a whole lot of front-end work to show the entities in a box when you look at it, and being able to select and drag them around, either taking them into your inventory or putting them back into the box, that kind of thing. So this took quite a long time, 2 weeks, And in the first week, there wasn't much to see in the front end, but there was a lot going on in the back end. In the fourth week of January, I was finishing up the item containers addition to the game. And at this point, you can see containers as a regular player. So you would walk up to a box, use the new look command, and point in the direction of the container, and it would actually pop up below your inventory and allow you to drag items to and from it. If you were to walk away or hit escape, the container would be closed and the inventory for it would vanish. So there was a lot of work in common between what a player would see and what the game master or the admin would see. There's a lot of reuse of components in the front end and a lot of the code in the back end to track where items are and to move between different containers was shared. So I was really working on both during this week and the previous week. In the last week of January, I decided that all of the scripts for the NPCs in my game were pretty much broken. It was going to be more expensive to go try to fix all the bugs in them than to just go and rewrite them. I didn't really like how the tests operated on the NPC scripts anyway. It was very difficult for me to read the tests and understand what was going on. So I decided just to scrap the whole thing and redo it. Not completely from scratch because I still had the old scripts as a reference, but I tried to start over with a better organization and also use test-driven development, which I did not do the first pass through making the NPC scripts. And I think I got a much better solution this time. It took the whole week, but basically was able to have a lot better control over NPCs in the game. It's a lot easier to set them up, to have them wander around certain areas, and also to instruct them to travel from one spot to another. And there weren't as many strange interactions between NPC modes like patrolling, guarding, guiding, attacking, running away, that kind of thing. So, by the end of January, we had items in the game, containers, rewritten NPC scripts, and icing on the cake was the fireworks to start off the year. So it was a very fun month. And that about wraps it up for the month of January in 2020. I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, you can see me working on this game live on Twitch most weekdays at twitch.tv/Raimu8354. So I hope to see you sometime online live in my stream. Thank you. See you. Bye.